Okay, so in this video, I'm going to go over how to build a REST API with the library Express, and we're also going to get Express to host static files. In our case, it will be our HTML file. From the previous video, as you can also see, let's just open these up. I've made no changes at all to either of the files. I've got the file opened in our Chrome browser. The CSS is the same color, and also the JavaScript is counting in the console. I'll close this for now, and I'll also close these. The first thing we want to do is make sure you've got Nodejs installed. You type Node into Google, and then get your download link and install it. What that will do is it will give you access to Node Package Manager, NPM, which contains thousands of JavaScript libraries. The next thing you want to do is make some changes to our directory. We want to change the name of our HTML file to index. And that's because Express is going to be looking for an index file to host. We want to create a folder called public, and that's because this is what's going to be accessible by our URL. In our case, it will be localhost. We want to move all of these files into the public folder. The next thing we want to do is create our server. So server.js. Just close that. Once you've done that, we need to install Express. If we do npm install Express, it's now downloading the Express library. Once it's successfully installed, you'll see two changes. The Node modules folder. As you can see, there's a lot of libraries which have just been installed. We've just installed the Express one. However, Express depends on all of these other JavaScript libraries. There's no need to change anything in the Node modules folder. We've also got the package.json file, which also lists the dependencies that we've just installed. With the Express file, with the Express library that we've just installed, we need to import it into our server. So if we do const express equals require, and we've saved it as Express, we need to now call Express. Express is like a function that we need to call. So we're going to also bind it to a variable called app. So const app equals, and now we're calling Express. I also like to define the port that we're going to be running our server on. So if we do port equals 3000, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to get our app to listen. We'll get Express to listen at port, which is 3000. And then this is what will feed back to us in the terminal. So when we type in node server.js, this is the response we're going to get. So console.log, I'll do backticks, listening at HTTP localhost $, curly brackets, port. So that should show us listening at localhost 3000. If we go to our terminal and type in node, and then within our directory, we've got one file called server.js. So if I was to type in s and then tab, it will automatically direct it to that file. Click enter, and it's now listening at http localhost 3000. If we go to this URL, as you can see, it's now working. However, there's an error. It cannot get. And that's because we're not sending anything to localhost. We're not getting Express. It's not hosting any files. So we need to get Express to host a static file. In our case, it's going to be our index.html. If we do app.use express.static, the public folder, and now refresh the browser, we're still getting that error. And that's actually because we haven't reset our server. So if we do Control-C and then do the exact same node server.js, we've reset the server. Now if we refresh the browser, as you'll see, it's now serving our HTML file. We do right-click Inspect and go to the console just to show the JavaScript working. As you can also see, the color is working as well, so the CSS file is linked correctly. That's how you build a REST API using the library Express, and also get Express to host our static files.